Yeah, hi guys, welcome to our review of FS T15. Now we know the T15's been around for a long time and it's a steadfast beast. It's probably the most popular mag-fed rifle on the market at the moment, and you're wondering why are we reviewing it now? Well, you know, we've been away for a while, we've aged terribly, our accents have changed, we've moved 4,000 miles east, so we thought we'd take a look what's stayed the same with the T15 and what's changed. So I'm just going to open the box and see what's inside. So the packaging's great. I mean, they've done a really good job. It's very much, the design's very much in the vein of Paintball, who manufacture real steel products. And first things first is it's just really nicely laid out. I don't know if I can just turn it around, and that's what you get. So let's have a look what's in the box. You have your rifle, your T15. Now, T15 is probably in the paintball world the closest thing to the AR-15. So it's almost a one-to-one replica. So if realism is what you're looking for, you can't get any closer to the real thing in the paintball world than this. And in the box we have FS, they call it the Cadet. It was called the Hero. So it's gone through a few different name changes, but essentially it's the same tank. So if you remember Guerrilla Air, they used to manufacture these. FS bought Guerrilla Air, it's now branded FS. Anyway, that is a fantastic little tank. US price, not sure, UK price is around about 65 quid. So you're getting a really good tank in the deal for that. The reg is adjustable, so you can change the pressure, you can change where it sits on your gun. So can't sing the praises of this little tank enough. You get two 20 round First Strike and Paintball ready magazines. If you're using First Strikes, these springs should be good enough, but you can upgrade them to a stiffer spring. Most people, I would say, are using First Strike if they're using a mag-fed marker or the T15. Obviously it depends where you're playing, but if you can use First Strike, I'd use First Strike. It's awesome. For those of you who don't know what First Strike is, any new players watching this, First Strike is basically a half paintball, half shuttlecock. So that flies further, it flies straighter, it's a one shot, one hit type of round, and we love them. We've done some testing with the T15 and we've used First Strike. One reason for that is because at the moment we're in the middle of a pandemic, if you want to call it that, and paintball sites are shut, so paintball manufacturers aren't making loads and loads of paint, so the quality to choose from hasn't been great. But anyway, so we did all our testing with a First Strike. You get a smooth bore, I think it's a 14-inch barrel. It's pretty good, it's okay, shoots paint okay, shoots First Strike okay. I would say if you're going to upgrade anything on the T15, definitely go look at the barrel. So we've got just your sock, you know, safety first, make sure you put that on there. We've got these plastic sights, they're not great, but they are what they are. Just got a toolkit, you got some spare parts, and your manual's in there. I mean, one thing I would say is the gun has changed ever so slightly, and we'll look at some of those changes in a second, but the manual hasn't. So you've got, I mean, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but just so you know, there are a few discrepancies in there. For one thing, these mags are now toolless. You don't need any tools to take them apart. They're really easy to load. You have a winder here. Is it ever going to end? And then you've got this. I love this because you'll probably know if you've played mag-fed paintball for any length of time, is that actually loading First Strikes into most mags is a bit of a pain. But this, you just simply pull that back and pop them in there, and down they go. And then you've just got this release catch, so when that does go in there, spring's activated and comes up into the gun, ready to fire. So the other thing that's changed is in this box we've got the free floating stock. This is much nicer, I think, than the original, and this is quite wouldn't say ingenious, but quite a good idea, because metal stock bars are expensive. They're expensive to manufacture, and they're obviously expensive for you to buy. So this is a nice simple solution that just sticks to the tank, and then fits on like that. You've got some double-sided tape on there, and you obviously, if it does lose its stickiness, you could always re-glue it. So yeah, like that, it's a neat solution. When it comes to putting the barrel in, you've got Tiberius or First Strike. They all have these quite strange indented groove barrels. They're like a throwback to the golden age of paintball, but they still use them. They work. If it's not broke, why fix it? It can go in either way, so you can find it. You can have the barrel the wrong way round, but yeah, if you look in the breech, you can see how the barrel should go round. I think this stock barrel was pretty decent, and we shot it over the chrono, and the consistency was really good. 268, 270, 277, 270, 276. As you probably know, and if you don't, consistency is king when you're using any air weapon. It means that if the closer those shots are, each shot is variant. So say 280, 281, 282, that sort of variance where you've got, it's only one or two. It just means that you can almost guarantee that the ball or the first strike is going to land in a similar place as the one before. So it allows you to hit it just gives you more accuracy. Just looking at some of the features, you've got a dust cover. It doesn't really have any real life application. You've got forward assist. Again, that is just for looks. One thing about this, it's got a really nice safety, very much reminiscent of the real thing. So you've got semi, safe, semi, and on this you've got, it's full auto, and there is a full auto kit available for the T15. Now I would say where you're using this does depend on where you are and the laws governing air weapons to whether you can use it or not. And I'm just going to show you how this splits down. And normally the last thing you'd want to do is field strip a gun, but this is just really simple. So push pins, they're quite stiff because they're new. That click should have put the bolt in the forward position, and that just gives you access to your upper. So if you do get a break in there, that comes out. The bolt comes out with a little persuasion, so that can be really easily cleaned and greased, and then you can just put a squeegee right down that. I would say probably best to store the gun with the barrel detached, because the barrel has the detents in. You want the bolt in the forward position so there's no strain on the spring, and because of that you want the barrel out, so you've got no tension on these detents, which are just held in the sides here, and they're fairly easy to get out. You just prise them out. Let's put that back together. So when the bolt's going back in, you just flat facing down, because that's where your sear for your trigger is going to catch. Back cap on. Have I forgotten anything? I hope not. Bolts in its firing position, and that's it. Really simple, just to take it apart, clean it up. Fantastic. Looking at an upgrade, if you're gonna be firing first strikes, and why wouldn't you, because they are great fun, definitely upgrade the barrel. This is the Lapco First Strike Ready 686.
281, 280, 276, 281, 275, 279, 287, 285, 281.
There are others, so Hammerhead make a barrel that you can use on the First Strike, but you will need an adapter. I think the same is true of the new Nemesis barrels. You will need an adapter. Not 100% sure that I'm correct with the Nemesis. We will check that, or you will tell us we are wrong if we are. That is definitely what I would say. If you're going to upgrade anything, upgrade the barrel. We've shot this over the chrono, and it was crazy consistent. I couldn't quite believe that a marker that doesn't have any sort of inline regulation was, or inline regulator was, yeah, it was with this fitted for firing First Strikes at 75 feet, might be exaggerating, was hitting the target every time and really, really consistent over the chrono. I was really surprised. We were testing some other guns and it was almost on a par with them. I suppose we come to some of the drawbacks. It's heavy. So if you aren't someone who wants to have aching arms at the end of a long day of paintball, then maybe this isn't for you. There are lighter things out there, but you can fit a lot of real steel accessories to this. So you could, if you do have the real thing, obviously probably not likely to have the real thing if you're here in the UK where we are, but if you do have the real thing, then some of those accessories can come off that and go straight onto this. So if you are using it as a training tool, for instance, then you can have something that feels just like the real thing. There's three different variants of these toolless mags. You've got this one. Now, I don't know if we've got a wide enough lens to get that in the picture, but yeah, that is your 30 rounder. So you can have 30 First Strikes in there. It looks a bit mental, but you know, if that's your thing, go for it. The other one is, oh, here we are, is that 10 rounder. So if you want to have a sniper setup, that's great, because if you're low down, that makes a difference. But obviously less rounds. Again, the design of these is very, very similar. And that's it. I mean, it really is just a steadfast workhorse. If you want something that just looks like the real thing, that shoots really, really well, then I would say, yeah, definitely worth investing in T15. And a little bird told me, if you're watching this in the early days of this video, if you're watching it 2 years later, this isn't going to be very helpful information for you, but the price is set to go up in the next few months, so get one as quickly as you can. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for watching, and if you have liked this video, please hit the like button and think about subscribing. All right, thanks guys, bye now. Right, I don't think I'm hitting the target, am I? No.